Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Republic of Amalfi. I was about to say Republic of Sardinia, but I don't know what came to me, maybe it's because of that over there. But anyways, this series has been very, very interesting for the first 83 years. 83 years, and then we'll get to more of this ongoing series. Which, again, as a reminder for you people, I will be doing this series as long as possible. What I mean is, that Crusader Kings 3 DLC has not come out yet, but when the announcement does, I'll find a way to end the series on a high note. But for me, we still got a lot of work to do in this very, very unique playthrough as Republic of Amalfi. As we know that Doge Raffaele has oh, where is it? He's done so many things. That's business focus. He helped found the Amalfium, the other episode, which he led the effort to establish the Amalfi in a Latin monastery on Mount Athos. Yeah, he's the founder of it. And he enacted the Amalfian laws, as this great patrician was responsible for spearheading the effort to create the Amalfian laws, or the Tabula Amalfi, a mercantile law code that's quickly becoming the international standard. So, as they call him, the Just, and rightfully so. Though he had a bit of issues along the way, but ultimately he's a good man at heart. And a erudite too. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 traits. And he's mostly virtuous and brave. If only he's a true Christian knight like his son Leone, who is still depressed, but I'm not confident that he'll make it all the way through in his life. Which is why we've chosen a new successor, my nephew, Mansone. If he were to rule the Republic, he would be Mansone II. And there's a reason why. He used to be gluttonous, but I gave him spiritual guidance. He may be cynical, but he's ambitious, he's brave, and he's gregarious. And rightfully so. I gave him my old chainmail armor, and based on unknown sources, I mean he's bright. Unfortunately, he's delicate, which means, you know, whatever harm may come to him, well, he's not going to live that long, so that's why I gave him the armor. And some additional combat skill, which I hope he will survive this upcoming war. Which, by the way, this war, starting in 8 days, is the Crusade for Aquitaine. This is to help, well, she's clinically insane right now, therefore incapable. So she's not doing well right now, but if she were to ever come out of insanity, we'll let her know that we restored her kingdom. Because this war is going to be all about restoring control to all this area. And I think it would be wise to deploy here in Barcelona today. Yeah, we need to establish here, gain a foothold, and we'll wait for others to come. And as you can see, that I named Leone my beneficiary. If he were to become a vassal to Aquitaine, he'll be a good servant to them. If I was to pick one more designated region, why not her? Because she's been very good to me throughout our life. She's been very good to us. We should hold a mass on our way to the Crusade. For the masses for dead soldiers. Yeah, well, we're on our way. And this will be my last big war before I will switch the war focus back to possibly theology or, gee, I don't know. Probably theology, knowing... I mean, look at the piety. He's going to be very, very pious at the end of his life, as he's already a paragon. He's all virtuous. He's a renowned physician, a great fighter, and a genius. Genius only in the military. Too bad he's not a genius. But he's worthy. And that's the reason why I chose him, because of him being ambitious, that he's pretty good all around. But of course there's always room for improvements for him whenever he takes the reins to run the family business. But I'll tell you what, if we get a lot of participation score, so to be evenly distributed, if we get a huge reward of gold for this, I am throwing all this money for the campaign fund to get him elected, regardless of the prestige that he has. And while he serves as a commander, he needs to get that prestige to win battles alongside with us. And he needs to survive this war. If not, then there's always going to be someone else. There's always going to be someone else. Not Uncle Arlo, because he's a little nuts sometimes. Possibly him, or even Pando, cousin Pando. Or my other cousin, Otto. It all depends on the genetic traits that they have. That's why I'm educating those two. So anyways, let's get together. Come on, what do you think you're doing? Just raise the levies and bring them over here. There's enough ships for all of us. Even though we are a small force, but we will be effective nonetheless. So we'll soon set sail and land in Barcelona. That's where we will hold. Had 339 total strength versus 29% of comparative strength. Besides the target, there's not going to be much in the way of defenders, but there'll be a lot of it, and there'll be many more reinforcements to come. And hopefully we'll get a lot of participation score, and we will have a huge reward in gold, prestige, and piety. And of course, all of you commanders, including Leone, Allo, Waltove, Massone. We'll also have to bring you in too, the new guy. And yes, you Bishop, the young one. Even though there was a notorious jailbreak under his watch. So, this violent, deranged criminal kept in this character's prison escaped and went on a murder spree before being caught. This reflects badly on his leadership and management abilities as a bishop. Excuse me. Now, as the old saying goes, where I come from, let's get it on. I had just accepted a call to arms from the Pope opposing Emir Al-Mu'minidaris of the Emirate. Due to having pledged to join Crusade, I just had no other choice. Well, I already had a choice. I was the first one to sign up for this crusade. In a grand announcement, the Pope declares another crusade for Aquitaine. It was once part of core Christian lands, and lords from all across the world gathers to fight in its grand war once more. The Aquitainian lands are being under the tyrannic rule of the Mohammedan infidel. But with the upcoming Christian onslaught, it is only a matter of time before he will fall. God will grant remission of sin to everyone partaking in a righteous war. There's so 100 piety just for joining. Well, we're going to have a bit of a slight delay till this last force comes in. the war score is already up, so because of some of the territories that are already occupied. Alright, ready. At least you're coming too. Look at all these levies. The Holy Roman Empire ain't coming. That's one of the very few kingdoms that will come to the aid. Even the Norse Catholic there will also be there. Ah, Majorca. Of course, you know, that island nation that liberated itself. And a little bit of Sardinia too. Okay, here's the deal. I'll lead the charge. Leone, you take the... Wait, what are you again? Oh yeah, sorry, you're direct leader. You take the center flank. I'll take the position of honor, the right flank. And Mazzone, hope you don't get hurt. Because it's going to be your first days of combat, I believe. To Barcelona. So there'll be many more enemies that will be coming to participate. Riding grounds is finished. Okay, stop. Gotta use my money for something. Like, we had riding grounds upgraded. That's for more cavalry to have in the future. We should have more of this. Light infantry and archers. Target range. This target range lets the men practice their archery. There are several targets positioned at different distances, but as yet, no one has managed to split another zero. Continuing to build up the levy size as relates to this house. And next time, when we get, if we're rewarded handsomely for this crusade, we'll get a map room next of a private shipyard, adventure state, a scenic pond, and a private art collection. And then we'll build up to a palace. Upgrade a mansion into a palace. In fact, just based on what I see, it seems they've... Well, son of a beeswax. These guys have spent on a palace as of late. Need to play catch up. Alright, we're landing here, boys. You got it. Is there a safe port where we can land? Under friendly territory? No? Then you're just gonna have to wait for occupation. Keep in mind, we're already taking attrition because of reasons. Supplies. For 6 days ever since we've been out at sea, far from home. I finally stand before Destination Crusade with sword in hand, or spear in hand. I'm ready to storm the walls of Barcelona. Excellent. Our armies now stand poised to take part of the crusade for the Kingdom of Aquitaine. Now, you all got a Crusader trait. So, Veteran Crusader. This will give you a personal combat skill and martial up. Look at us now, wearing Crusader style armor. You too. Him as well. Come on. Pick up that Crusader trait. Each time you assign a commander to a flank, if you're in the middle of Crusade, they automatically get this trait. Who else hasn't got it? Leona is already a Crusader. Bishop, you're a Crusader too. Anyone else? Yeah, this thing. He got it too. As you were. Good luck, all of you. We will take a few holdings, and then we're gonna get out of there and unite with the friendly forces. And since we were the first ones to arrive, we have the early participation score, so advantage us. As we traveled through Barcelona, we came across a festival celebrated by the local populace. Catalan people, but they're Sunni Muslims. We come across a festival celebrated by the local populace. It reminds me of some of the harvest festivals at home. Though the people seem to think that the festival is an ordinary feast, some of its rites have pagan roots. Let us take part in the festivities. I'll take the piety hit. It's fun festivities. Don't worry too much about it. Unless we come across enemy opposition. Corrupt temptation. Early in the morning I was approached by none other than Patrician Adrianus Constantius with a strange plea about rigging the next election for Doge. Faced with a moral dilemma, I must now decide the answer. You pay it to me to rig the next election, but you already have that. He gains this amount of prestige, that's what they mean by that. But there's a 50% chance that I would get either trait. Don't want to lose brave, but I'll let the gold speak. You're a young man. Just try not to overextend yourself. If you want to be the next Doge, be my guest, but Mazzone can build up his reputation on his own in a unique way. Should have built a fort while we were in enemy territory. Surefire way to get rid of these supply issues as we're taking it hard. As I passed through Barcelona, I came across Ribodin of Amalfi. That's your name? Art Mac, Irish. He invites you to spend some time in his camp to get to know another better, as we are allies in the Crusade for Aquitaine. Thank you, I will accept your offer. Your first child, Murray. That's the fort. Okay, we've taken this territory, so this will stop with the supply issues. War scores 37%, with some of the territories already occupied that took part in Crusade, and more friendly reinforcements will be on the way. We're just only taking areas that's relevant to Aquitaine. including the Villa of Barcelona. We're just here to occupy. Again, it's a very one-sided war. So we'll probably be out of here before we know it. And hopefully we'll get a nice reward for this. Alright, he got it up there. Skilled fighter. Already at age 10 he's a skilled fighter. There's something about this boy. Amalfi's no longer peaceful. After the siege, my men bring me a series of precious books they found at holding. I take interest in particular one. This requires some translation. I'll pay for the translation. It's my first library book. Actually, you got two of them. The Song of Ludwig. Marshall. The Song of Ludwig is an old High German poem that celebrates the victory of the Frankish army led by Louis III over the Danish raiders. The other is the Biography of Muhammad. Learning book. The Biography of Muhammad is a work by Ibn Ishaq. It is the earliest substantial biography of Muhammad. While collecting surah narratives, he is criticized for forging poems and presenting tales of dubious accuracy. A learning book is a library book is a library book. Hurry up and assault that holding. It just fallen before me, and my troops have collected everyone within must decide the fates of the unfortunate. Shakira. Any of you useful to me? Skill-wise? Take everyone we found prisoner. Is already in prison to somebody else. Sometimes I wish I were to recruit you, but you are married. And that man's already imprisoned by someone else who lives next door. Greek Orthodox. Interestingly. This crusade will be over before Christmas, hopefully. Christmas Day, no it ain't. Well, we're glad there's others that came to assistance. After hearing about a wise man in the local area, I decided to go visit him and see what he has to offer. He starts talking about infernal concepts that sound like blasphemy, but I tell my men to go outside so I can hear what he has to offer. I will learn what he has to offer, blasphemy or not. So there you go, some knowledge and some cultural advance points. But keep in mind, that's for Amalfi. It's much lower in Neapolis. But I'll tell you what, make changes here. Knowing that we'll be running Neapolis again. Napoli. I want all of you to spread the technology to there. You're researching, yes. But it's to have a spread rate to make them go over there. So we're going that way now. Imported here to Acera. We're in second place. We're gonna get a big reward for this. So start throwing the money at this again. A fort that'll be upgraded for more tax income here in Napoli. And this barony here, Prestige Siege. That one's gonna take longer. I'll build a cavalry training ground, excuse me. Anything else to invest in? For security reasons, forts. In case of enemy aggression against the Republic, forts are to slow them down. And since I own the trade post of Amalfi, which, of course, that has been declined as of late. Trade post, yes. Now look at all these buildings that'll be available once we get all of that. But if I were you, I'd upgrade it to a merchant port. Aided by a simple wooden harbor crane at this port, as it says. I was looking at the text differences. $95, $98, assault and make it 100 and we'll get out of here. Well done. God has granted Count Jourdain of Leon, victory in the Crusade of Aquitaine. That's the guy who went first place. I came in second. He was beaten at every turn of the war. He had to finally give up on his holdings in Aquitaine. Count Jourdain has granted new lands in Aquitaine to Doge of Amalfi. The Pope has made an announcement about the victory and the virtues of the Crusaders as faithful protectors of the faith. With the Muslims being pushed out of their old lands, there are certainly more conflicts to come. Praise God. We won big. And I got 2 new artifacts. Weeping Statue and Splint Mail Armor. Hey. That's Latin Crusader armor to be exact. This armor was given to Doge of Amalfi by Pope Leonidas II for his participation in the Crusade for Aquitaine. I already have a better version of this armor, but I guess someone else needs to have that. I already gave that to my nephew. And now, Doge has become the Earl of Aragon. It says Emir currently, but soon he will be referred to as Earl. So now he lives over there and he's going to bring his children along. So therefore, the Urso family now runs Aragon. And they may possibly convert to Aragonese culture if they wanted to. As you will be serving under... Stressed. Alright, let's skedaddle. Turn home. Oh, and a weeping statue. Here it is. A statue of Virgin Mary. Every now and then a drop of water or even blood will trickle down from the statue's eyes in what can only be described as a miracle. It helps with the tax modifier and prestige. Like that. But this Land Crusader armor, well, ought to give it to somebody. You got your sword. And from then on out, whomever that they be married or betrothed to, especially from them. It's too bad women can't run the Republic, but they can run over there. An honor for all of us. So I should give him that armor. I already got a level 3. Here it is. Here you go. Now, what the heck am I going to do with all that money? Besides charity, of course. We should have held our income less, but we never fought a battle. Oh yeah, compose another book. Let's start it. If I'm able to live long, hence the reason why I thought about switching back to theology, it's for health reasons. So we should chronicle my family history. Glory to the House of Urso. I choose a theme not related to any particular attribute. The Lord in Aragon. The victories against the infidels were hard fought, but things have finally settled down and the titles I fought for were given to Leone Urso. It will surely be difficult to be part of the new kingdom, but I wish him luck in future endeavors. I look back one last time as my men and I leave Aragon, wondering. I wonder what life would have been like had it been me staying there rather than Leone Urso. No, Amalfi's my home, hence the reason and purpose of this series. I never ever picked that option. But I'll tell you what. The only time I've ever played as another country, fresh off of a Crusade, it actually happened in Crusader Kings 3. From the Asturias series. Where we did this crusade for Sindh. Which is a kingdom over in Western India. Or in this case, southern modern-day Pakistan. Is Sindh. Where I decided to end the Asturias series and immediately begin the spin-off series, which I called it Bactria, which we made the Crusader Kingdom of Sindh expand all the way up to Afghanistan and into Khorasan and even up to Sogdiana, where we formed the Empire of Bactria, which to do that you have to be of Afghan culture and as either a Buddhist or a Zoroastrian. I went the Buddhist option. So, that was the only time I've ever played as another country on purpose, because of its uniqueness, and as well as inspired by the Greco-Bactrian kingdom and the Indo-Greek kingdom. What's happening? I better verify, so lift his excommunication. He's been through a lot. That's from my request. Now back to the recovery period. Glad to see you to become a Crusader. Ooh, I just thought of something. Wait, I don't know how long Matsone is gonna live. But, okay, you know what? The weapon can wait. He can wait for it to be inherited through me. Instead, find me a goldsmith to create jewels befitting my status. Yeah, spend it on jewelry. That's what real rich people would do. Interesting idea. We've always had issues with Kapua. But he is resting right now. And this is your chance. Sylvana's the only ally. But can you imagine Massone and Sereniho? Yeah. Again, she's strong, attractive, and a calm voice. We'll be neighbors. Yes. I can put you on that throne. She'll turn 16 this spring. You got it. she will gain a barony. Oh, barony? Really? But not the whole, Versa barony. Oh, okay, never mind then. Never mind then. They'll probably think there'll be issues with this. What if we were to inherit that? No, you know what? Do it anyway. Give her the barony, and then the children of Mansone will eventually inherit that little area. So that way we will establish a presence up there in Adversa. So just do it. Just as we were resting, relaxing. To Adversa together. We want to come back, and by God, we're going to get some back. Yeah, you have the flank. Uncle Aldo, how you doing? Had slow fever, but also that weak trait didn't help it. That's from my daughter, sir, in the House Urso. We'll take care of the rest. The goldsmith. Be 500 gold. Order an impressive set of jewels. Their craftsmanship and expensive materials is the key to beauty. A pirate lord. No, we need a guy like him in our ranks. Going after one of my trade posts. Have you picked up your combat skill yet? Yes, sir. Novice fighter. Decided to check up a Master Authority's progress while shoulder his fortune. I did not have working on a project I commissioned. Still working on Divikas, specifically my courtier Serena Hill de Spoleto, just to avoid confusion. I wish I could give you spiritual guidance, but she is not a close relative of mine. Can you please focus on your work? Now go take the objective. And my son, also a skilled fighter in his own right, must have got it from me. Good news, my Doge of Amalfi said excitedly. The goldsmith has informed me that precious metals and gemstones have been located in a nearby province. If we send an expedition, it could increase the quality of the crown jewels we are currently crafting. Send them immediately. So I'll spend money to potentially get even better crown jewels than I originally ordered. All that money well worth spent, huh? This war isn't going as hot as I thought it would. I lose more men per battle than I planned in the sieges. The sieges are going on forever. More manpower, more siege weapons I need. Perhaps a friend could assist me. The Irishman? No. Well, monetary help. He's not gonna give me any. I need no help. The war will soon be won. Just take their capital, and we'll go after the objective soon when we take out this army. Again, what a smart idea. Like, it's... Again, Aversa never had any cities, but they do have 3 baronies. Go after them. So we could take 1 barony. It's just like taking a city. But if only we wanted the coast. This won't be finished until soon. Forest, river crossing, we'll be fine. I was overcome by excitement and curiosity when Walther informed me of the crown jewels were completed. As I'm waiting on my throne for his servants to carry the great box across the room, I struggle not to leap up and meet them halfway. When I finally touch the heavy lid, my hands are shaken. Regalia worthy of a true Doge. Emerald Scepter. This scepter is famed for the unusual amount and quality of emeralds adorning it. The origins of the stones are shrouded in mysteries, as tales as numerous as the stars. And Sword of Heroes. This ornamental weapon is impressive sight. The blade is gilded and the hilt is adorned with foreign precious stones such as rubies and sapphires. I get cameos depicting legendary warriors. What am I going to do with these 2? Give them to Matsone. Every little bit of prestige helps. A strategist. For technology spread rate. We got enough good fighting men, so yeah. Captured his court physician. I know it because the nickname gives it away. If I'm still around for about another year or so, I'll be sure to search for a smith and give that man a weapon. Masona, his own personal weapon. You know, so many weapons that go around. Good on you. But we must take the objective. We've got to take Capua. Embargo. Don't worry about that. The Children's Crusade. What the heck? The news have reached us that a boy from Aberdeen received a vision from the Holy Ghost, compelling him to pick up arms and gather the true followers of Christ and lead a crusade against the infidels who desecrate the soul of Jerusalem. The boy has gathered many followers among the peasantry and has embarked on a great journey to reach the Holy Land, claiming that the sea itself will open at his passage. Could this child be the messenger of the Lord? A Scottish boy leading a children's crusade. He hears the voice of Jesus, and he's a tall boy, so of course he's got the stature of a leader. He's a son of the Earl of Aberdeen, who is said to be a brute because of his cruelty. Lives a seductive lifestyle, I see. And he's a Aristotelian. His mother is the High Chiefess, known murderer. Basically, his parents are bad, but this boy's got interesting thinking. And he's the one that just started this thing. Okay. Not what I had in mind. Why is that capital over there? They do hold Constantinople. Oh, let me think. Children's Crusade. And we're about to take the objective, so we can make Serenhild the Baroness. The massacre of Latins. Oh, terrible news is spread all over Christendom. In an unprecedented act of cruelty, the Byzantine Emperor has instigated riots against the numerous Catholics in Constantinople. Blood has been spilled all over the city, and the Latin corners have been burnt to the ground. Tens of thousands are said to have lost their lives, and a few survivors have been sold into slavery in Muslim lands. This horrible act of violence is sure to be condemned, and a Latin control of Byzantine trade may be broken forever. Despicable. How dare she? How dare they? But we got a war to win. A peasant revolt from out of nowhere. This delays our progress. House Urso is fair. Nobody can deny that. She's attractive now. It's such a pleasure taking care and educating my granddaughter. Hope you got some more combat experience, or ever been in any kind of duels, but you didn't. Got the objective. She's the Baroness now. Go home. Oh, wait. I get it. He lives with her now. I can't get him over here. He's not married. Perhaps I made a mistake, but still. Oh, she will accept vassalization. Hang on here. To the level-headed crusader, may you live in harmony and content. Accept the swear failed to do and serve as a vassal lord. Alright, you serve under us now. And now, oh, excuse me. Still a commander. So she serves under us now. Now allow me to give you spiritual guidance to get rid of envious. Trying to make you a better person. Visiting the monastery, of which my orders convene at this time. I join my fellow lay members in dutifully performing all tasks required of us. In the evening, after the day's hard work, the abbot gathers all the visiting lay members and reveals the monastery's great treasure. A great relic that's been safeguarded here for many generations. A fragment of the true cross. Oh no, don't even think about it. Let's celebrate in the scoring. I'm paying. I got the money. you'll be one from Marshall because you're a skilled fighter. Well, crud. It was going to be Masoni. He was the chosen one, but it's going to have to be someone else. Uncle Arlo is too old. Argo is, you know, dull and mouth and all that. Could be you, because you're receiving an intrigue education, but also an already good fighter. Unless you want someone different. Wish I could bring him back home. But the problem is he's married. And she doesn't, and he's not going to leave her at the side. I mean, he had what it takes to be evenly skilled of everything. But everybody's got flaws. But he's the only competent one. Hopefully he picks up Shroot. We'll figure something out here. But after all, I am the heir of the barony. If I want Masone back, the only one way to do this is to kill his wife and whatever. Which seems, you know, screwed up. This may sound like a stupid idea. I mean, is there a way to say, it's like, how about you recruit a guy by kidnapping? Sometimes you kidnap and it says, okay, you serve under me now. That may sound like a stupid idea. Plus his government is feudal now. He's not a mercantile republic anymore, so he can't be... After all that I gave him. But for now, it's going to be my son, so... Yes, I gave Leona Aragon. He's the one going to be running the Republic. And I can't invite my son back over here. Well, I don't think you should be that worried. No, there's nobody younger. Pando's bad at diplomacy, even though he's perceptive. He's already served as a distinguished commander and all that. My son could have been one. But I failed to realize that she had a claim. Gave her the territory. Feudal. He's feudal now. Sometimes you kidnap people. You know what? Let's see what happens. This is screwed up. We're kidnapping him because I want my son back in this court. What if we can recruit him after kidnapping? It's doubtful. Because how can you recruit somebody who's... Whoa. That's a patrician. That's way greedy. Just say that everybody's on board. Even my wife's going to be there. Well, congratulations, Mr. Idiot. But for now, the heir is him. While we're at it, hold a grand tournament. for the first time. He's gonna hate my guts for this. Oh yes, the Children's Crusade, don't forget about that. The ragtag army has reached Amalfi already. As the parade of dirty peasants and screeching children had already caused enough problems, their unlikely leader has requested an audience of me, claiming I should provide troops and armaments for his holy quest. Well, as a fellow veteran crusader for 3 years, I'll pledge some troops, which lowers the revolt risk in the capital, but reduces the garrison. Or sponsor it, then I become zealous. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing wrong in being zealous, so. Yeah, I'll do very much more than that. As a veteran crusader, I say, yeah, I approve it. And it appointed his own regent, a fellow Scotsman. Someone's got to run things. I mean, somebody's going to run the whole thing, so... Yes, sir. I'll be zealous. I will help you sponsor. My offer of funding a celebration of the relic was well received, and has heightened my standing in the eyes of my brothers and sisters. For many days we sang, prayed, and paraded the holy relic around the nearby villages. Donations to the monastery have increased greatly. All in all, it was a tremendous success. Well worth the money. Wonder how good will you be in intrigue, and what kind of a man would you be? Hopefully don't go down the same path as my grandfather did. You're getting better and better at this. Minty fresh breath. You want to be a spy master? Well, women are allowed to be spy masters now these days. You know, I'm about to, kidnap his husband, which is my nephew. He deserves greatness. I see it in him. Made him envious this way. But I'm not going to give him spiritual guidance. No need for that. He's the only one, but he's a patrician and wants a lot of money for that. I'm not going to give that. I'm not going to give him the benefit. Oh, Truda. No, give her a chance. We're trying to do something here. He's become cynic. Oh, that reminds me. He doesn't have good enough skills. No need to recruit him. Put him back where he once came. No interest. Well, I'm just gonna give him back to you. It's Shakira. Husband died in dungeons. Technically, she lives in the Republic of Amalfi now. So, she's our resident. Also, be a Catholic. You'll get killed as a Muslim if you live in a court alongside of us. Yes, he's finished his education. As in, give him a good virtue. Because I'm a nice guy. Target range finished. So, where's that? Oh, way over there. So that's where you once came from. Oh, really? We claim for that whole area. But the thing is, you know, they don't allow female rulers over there unless circumstances mandate it. But she's 44 years old, so. Having invested myself in this literary endeavor, I've been feeling drained lately. When my scribes ask me what the next section of the book is about, I throw my hands out in the air. How should I know? I cannot rush into such things. I need inspiration. There's a 43% chance I might become wounded. 5% chance I will become maimed and severely injured. 52% chance of that not happening. One's a 99% chance of vomiting, the other's 1% chance that I die. Well, you know about these 1% chances, you know, them, you know, with whatever. So I've asked for some kind of draught. Now I'm vomiting. Which you better cure that immediately for a person of my age. Give me a physician. Quick! Well, never mind. My vomiting has stopped. Have me strapped up to a chair. Say up right. I was going to tell him the truth by saying, Hey, I stopped vomiting. You don't need to do this to me. Finally, an opportunity has arisen to abduct my nephew. So he's taking a planned journey from Aves to a nearby town. Proceed with the plan. 72% chance of kidnapping success. 90% chance that we fail not discovered. 9% chance that a disaster strikes and the plot fails and we found out. You cannot screw it up. No way, no how. We got him. No need to do that. That's kinslaying. Bring it to my dungeon. I'm not here to take revenge. Calm down, will ya? She doesn't know a thing. And she became envious again. Hey, didn't I just... Can't recruit him. And you can't disinherit him for that reason either. Put him in house arrest until we figure out what to do with him. House Urso recently went missing. After a frantic search by his guards, seemingly vanished in thin air. Not so apparently. Turned out he was forcibly abducted by agents of Doge. Intends to keep him Dutch till he decides otherwise. Yes, we know that. I'm the one who did the plot in the first place. What I'm trying to do is to... And it's too bad that he's not married. And I can't force a divorce of anybody. Unless you send him to a holy order. Or make him become a monk. But this disqualifies him from no inheritance, but still can be claimants. What the hell am I doing? He's gonna hate me forever to say, how dare you kidnapping? We have a lot of things in common. What the hell are you trying to do? And I'm just gonna say, nothing. No, nothing. It's just, well... It's just we're trying to find your way, get you back into Amalfi. That's all. You're supposed to run the Republic, not to go with her. That's nutty. Let's just say, oh, don't worry, the whole thing was a misunderstanding and we'll just give him a city. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't we just build a city, and then when the city is finished, give him the keys to the city, and then he'll run the city for us, and he'll be back in a merchant. Yes, better idea. I'll make him up for it. I'm glad I put him under house arrest. Okay, new plan. But this plan may not work. I mean, here in Asera, which at least this has more room than it is in Amalfi in terms of building more holdings. So what if we were to build a brand new city made just for him? Even though it's going to be finished in 3 years. That's unacceptable. I want you to oversee construction of this area. Fortunately, it's a serene province. So originally August 2nd, 955 to August 20th of 954. So at least that cuts a bit of time. Now, listen, honest mistake. You're under house arrest now. Perhaps I could teach you a virtue on your way out. 'Cause I don't like that cynicism. This served under me. And she has no clue of what the heck's going on here. Even though they call her the usurper because we took that barony of Capua. And all that. Man, what the hell am I thinking? Again, already has a daughter, which she'll take care of that, no doubt. But again, this particular bird's agnatic Gallokind. If he were to have a son, good, but what I just did was, I don't know, honestly, it was stupid of me for what I just did, but, because I thought I was trying to get him to be recruited, but I think that's impossible now. I think it would be proper just to give him the city. But what if that makes him a republic government and not mercantile republican because of what we are? A brave soul. Looking at the map, my eyes fixed at the province of Amalfi. It would be interesting to use my martial skill and princess to people there. I will travel with a single escort across the province, visiting the most important places and talking to the local leaders there. I will move the people by my courage and my availability. Yes, that sounds like a plan. Pick my best bodyguard and go. Because besides my brave personality trait, the success of this event depends on the character martial, which is very high. Listen, you're going to be the Lady of Aragon one day. I refuse the council, but since the kidnapping is already finished, you serve the country well, Tranquillo. Now give Serena Hill the position of spy master. Look at her. Now she is to uncover whatever plots there is. And the plots that we did know, they ought to be stopped. Anything that relates to me. You're just going to be under house arrest for 2 years. That's your sentence. Your sentence for 2 years just for leaving Amalfi. The people eyed me with alarm, and I judged my lack of security and plain availability as a sign of carelessness. I failed to cause an impression of Amalfi. I'll be back. But success! The people. My people. Look at me and all as I walk among them, speaking directly and frankly. Of a martial attitude, I was almost received as a god. Well, I used to be zealous briefly. And the Amalfi local leaders have a new message to spread about me. I'm an impressive leader. Yes, sirree. So it's peaceful now. I was one of the first to saddle my horse to chase out the bandits who stole one of my valuable chalices from our church. When I returned, exhausted with filthy clothes, I was told the old priest that simply misplaced the chalice. He appreciated my effort at least. Let's have a scenic pond. This scenic pond, often frequented by swans, is the centerpiece of Palace Garden. A small fountain in its middle sprays water into the air while carps can be glimpsed just beneath the surface. Tales of a traitor. This morning I was informed that one of my operatives in the smuggle operation named Rupert von Utzon Just planning to run away with a significant part of my assets invested in this business. If I want to avoid a significant hit in my treasury, I need to finish this individual. I have time to prevent him from escaping. Well, this is for my spy master, Serena Hilt, Baroness. No, I'd rather take care of that. See if I get him. For I am brave. No fear in these eyes. Spinach may taste bitter, but I eat it because I found it makes me healthier and stronger. I've heard rumors of less spinach far away lines up. I'm strong to the finish because I ate my spinach. I've become healthier than most. Bit of a health increase. Spinach makes you strong. The unmoving sea. The Children's Crusade continues. Loringstadt claimed that the tides of the Mediterranean Sea would split open at the arrival of his army, allowing his warriors to cross unscathed and march all the way to the Holy Land. Unfortunately, the Lord did not fulfill his promise made to the young Crusader. Now a large force of peasants and children languishes in Genoa, looking for a way to travel to Asia. Some of the less determined members of the Crusade have already lost faith, but he remained strong in his conviction, persuading new, hopeless recruits every day. He's received his first communion. Pay all that money to me? Or I have to pay the money? Or just say no need for the money. They could use more troops for protection. Yes, I'm gonna support this Children's Crusade no matter what. Because I got nothing better to do. So we'll pledge its troops for the next 3 years. We don't plan on fighting any wars for the next 3 years. We're just making money and investing. The perfumer excitedly shows me his musk perfume. I take a sniff and note it smells pleasant the way animal musk usually does. Then the perfumer tells me his secret. It is not musk made from animals, but from the oil of the seeds of the medicinal plant, known as the musk mallow, umbrate or rose mallow. I was fooled there for a good moment. Don't give that to my spouse. She's an aspiring nun. I'll just say a fun idea. I'll buy some. It appears I somehow misplaced one of my prized possessions. Oh God, my hourglass is destroyed. Maybe it's symbolism that my time could be running out soon. But I got a lot to live for, so I'm thinking, what would I like to do for the remainder of my time? I know, why don't we go hunting? Go out on the great outdoors more. What's the Earl doing? It's his liege. War against the tyranny. Again, I'd love to recruit you back, but too bad you're married. But I will give you keys to the city that's under construction. I'll donate to charity later. I'm still keeping all that money in case of something. Now you can go on grand hunts every fall, if you're not busy with something else. Weren't we supposed to hold a tournament? I think I glitched it. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to run tournaments in a Merchant Republic. You're doing well, son. May want to forget about the culture thing. What we should do is build a war chest. Get all that money again. You need up to 700. That's going to be problematic for what I just did. Because it's supposed to hold a tournament, which never came, so therefore I can't do any... Although I was not busy with whatever special activities. Okay, good. My rogue operative escaped, running away with a significant chunk of my smuggle operation. This fail will be talk of next year's court even outside of frontiers. Now the average has been reduced to modest. I put too much pepper on my food. Don't eat it. Or I'll bear it. I'll bear it. You got more prestige than whomever. You're considered the greatest Doge ever. He's about to be 16, and he's gonna have an intrigue education for himself. Sardinia. So you're related. Of course, the easiest thing in the world would be just say, hey, revoke that title. But we're in a non-aggression pact. You can break it and then revoke the title. Yeah, easiest thing in the world. But the problem is, she has not done a thing. I mean, title revocation is allowed in this country. Master of intrigue, just like my grandfather. Maybe one day you'll be the spy master. If you choose to keep at it, no one's gonna touch you. The rise of the, like it's supposed to be Shia. The schism in the heart of Islam dates back to its earliest days. The majority Sunnis have long persecuted the followers of Ismaili, forced them into hiding. The partisans of Ali took his descendants, looked to his descendants for leadership. They are forced to keep their ancestry secret. Now, though, they are mobilizing their strength behind a young man by the name whom they claim to be Ismaili's rightful heir and imam. The other Islamic jurists claim that the boy is clearly a fraud. But to his followers, he is the one that's been waiting for, and now they flock to his banner as he begins to crusade to wrest the from the hands of the. So who's at war with? Or are they Successor technically? I don't know. They're out there. The coasts of Achaia, after having finally managed to book the passage to the Mediterranean Sea in order to reach the Holy Land, the Charles Crusades would force an unfortunate detour to Greece after their ships crashed on the coast of Achaia after a terrible storm. Reports from the army are scant, though there are rumors that many have started to doubt his leadership. And yet, This unlikely horde of youths and peasants are still marching on towards Jerusalem. They got 2 Scottish commanders alongside. Wonder where he get his money from. He's apparently upset the Jews. Probably telling him, out of my way, we're on a crusade. $500 gold! Oh, you'll be fine. They're sure to need more supplies. Again, I'm its biggest supporter. But what is the situation in Jerusalem itself now? Are you talking about this Jerusalem? Because Jerusalem was... Oh, no. They're trying to get it back, but City of Bethlehem is an independent entity. The Bishopric of Jerusalem. Oh, so they did take it back. Oh, what the hell are we doing? Hey, what happened to Oh, there you are. Perhaps you should look at the other members. Oh, you're willing to pay your own ransom? If you want out? Well, no, don't worry about it. I saw my mistake. I'll make it up to you. I promise. It'll be fun. And if that option fails, then... Don't want to kill her, but we ought to get her out of that territory. Which means, in other words, break a non-aggression pact and find a reason to revoke her title. You know what? Do it ahead of time. Gonna make her look like she did something criminal. Sure. What do you say? Okay, the deed is done. But she still doesn't mind. Yeah, we broke the pact, but... Ruler of Republic must have a valid revocation reason. Must have a special revoke reason if we have a truce. Which I do. But it's only for 5 years. I'll be around for 5 years. As long as I keep myself healthy, that is. Unless there's one other way. Fabricate treason. Make her the bad girl. And then... So just consider it as like, hey, she's a traitor. Or excommunicate her. Which Pope says no. Because... free investiture law here. And the opinion likes her too much. Okay, fine. We'll make her look bad. If all else fails when that city is constructed. I just want Masona back. He's the rightful heir to the Republic. He's got the skills. None of the others don't. Now, do teach me more about intrigue. You got it. This is why we can't have nice things all the time. If you want to have more male members, then those who aren't married need to be married off. Not Shakira. No incest or inbreeding. I don't want no smoking in this house. I'll be willing to pay the bride price. Okay, that's for you. Pando, you're unmarried. God dang it. Absolutely no. Or marry somebody who's from, you know, who is from within this republic. Ah, here's one. This is a patrol. You'll be married in a year or so. You're in an age to be married now. That costs too much. Bride price of 3. Not notable enough. Good enough. Book it. You need to keep the family large so you could see to any potential male characters that would be eligible based on skill alone. Whose trade post is this? Constantine's, of course. Of course it's them. Compared to Asceta, you may want to save those tech points for Asceta. That's nice, I guess. I don't want to say anything more about that. City is finished. The Commune of Cume. I'll tell you what. I don't need the money. Listen, I'm gonna send you back to the barony. Just say that the reason I kidnapped you was just to teach you a lesson. And now here's your reward, this new city here. But the real question is this going to turn to a republic government or a mercantile republic? Because, you know, we're part of that family. That I never experimented before, but it could be a bad idea in the long run. And that means, well, we've lost this character in that line of succession, and you're going to have to stick with who you got. So here. Yep, I knew it. Republic. You can't revoke it. We've lost him. He's not... Okay, then. I'm gonna need that city back one day. So you're gonna have to wait till 1 year. And a rule of the Republic has about it. Well, of course there is. It's called fabricate treason. We're gonna make you look bad. We're gonna make you look bad, and then we'll bring it back over here and all that. I don't want to kill your wife. I mean, she's good. Just my issue is she runs the landed title, and I gave him the landed title. Should have never made him mayor. But there's a way to get out of this. It's kind of odd. This is coming from a spy master associate for some reason. So you need a new one. Just my son, of course. Put him here. So, as I said, hey, she's a bad person. We gotta revoke her. Or try to imprison her. And do the same with Masona, and these two need to be back here at court. They should not be expelled from the country. Keep in mind, it's open elective, so it could be anyone at this point. It's another case of Has this man gone mad? My chefs had prepared an ornate amount of baklava for a small banquet I was hosting, and I ended up eating most of the baklava. Few could blame me. It was very good baklava. I'm sorry about that, but also not sorry. I ate some baklava. Today I'm in the village of Scala, which is the center of Amalfi's coral industry. They bring coral harvested from other nearby villages. It is here that it is here that they turn this coral to a variety of beautiful products such as rosary beads and necklaces. As I travel through Scala, I hear simple yet moving songs sung by coral workers as the fishermen's a pleasant thing to listen to. No? Yeah, I read ahead of the text. That's why I kind of slowed down a bit. You got it. You gotta learn on your own, man. I'm just doing something stupid because I don't want to die before, you know. So in other words, I'm gonna need that barony for myself, and we need that city for myself. Did some more idiotic things. Knowledge eludes me. And meanwhile, it continues. Despite all adversities and many attempts to undermine his divinely inspired leadership, he's been able to march his army all the way to Nekia. With the Holy End finally within reach, the Crusaders' resolve has been striven. He has sent me a message thanking me for my continued support during the campaign, asking me any further help I'm able to provide him in order to prevail against the infidels with my help and God's blessing. He is certain of victory against the abominable heathens. Another Scottish and Dalmatian. A super genius Dalmatian one. That makes me jealous. But she decides to go with the Crusade. I will allocate more resources to support your fight. I don't want to participate in a Crusade myself because I'm in the middle of something. I'm doing something stupid here to solve this little problem. God blast it! You drunk. Now she's not a baroness knows. They know too much. And if that plot fails, and you can't imprison or hate her because she hasn't done anything wrong. And of course, one of the things is like, oh, the easiest world is just to kill her. Easiest thing in the world. But not exactly. Rudolph. Are you one of the backers of the plot? Rudolph? No. But let's try to blackmail him. See if it works. If we can get him a favor, maybe I'll tell him to join the plot. Need your help. If Kedrick is spending most of her days cloistered, it's surprising that she's a poor careful looks. That girl always looks like a vagabond. You gotta learn temperance, but no, she remains uncouth. So get rid of the Baroness. I mean, not kill her. Just don't want her to rule the land and give it to myself. And also get that city back from him. And then once it's all said and done, try to recruit him, get him back into Amalfi, and then you will be its successor. You've got high in the mountainous part of my realm. There's an ancient ruins built on rock and stone. Perhaps it was once a shrine or someone's house or an ancient fortress, though much of it has fallen apart. Still, some of it's remarkably preserved recently. These ruins have become increasingly popular amongst shepherds, trade caravans, and other travelers as a resting location. The order proposed to improve it by building an inn. Besides an inn, we could also build a